Royal from DannyRoyal.com, and I'm so excited to have you here. If you made it to this video, then that means you are a massive action taker. Hey there, Kingdom Builders. It's your girl, Danny Royal from DannyRoyal.com, and it's so good to be back here with you all with another video. And I have some juicy stuff today, and you all, I know sometimes it may seem like, oh my goodness, what's next? I'm not sure what's next. Abba, I don't know what to do. But I need you to understand, especially in the times that we're in today with inflation and so much going on, the first step to becoming a kingdom builder is having a relationship with the Most High Yah. When you have a relationship with Yeshua, everything that you do, you acknowledge him. And because the Bible says simply, to seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all of his righteousness and all of these things shall be added unto you. And what I need you to understand, that even if you don't know the way, even if you don't know the next step, when you seek him and you be still and know that he is God, and you stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, you can hear him clearly. It doesn't matter how he decides to come through. Just know that he will come through. It doesn't matter the when he will come through. Just know that he will come through. And I promise you, when Abba comes through, his blessings are sure and his promises are sure, okay? And so I'm excited to talk to you all about Jacob today. Y'all, I want to talk to you about Jacob today. This is the character in which I am speaking of. However, the topic at hand is simply about Abba giving you divine strategy and instruction to have your abundance. So we've been talking about kingdom wealth, kingdom abundance, handling your kingdom biz. Okay, you know that's what we do here on this channel. We handle our kingdom biz, and we don't keep God out of nothing that we do. Yeshua is a part of everything that we do here. So if you're not used to Yeshua being a part of everything that you do, if you want to be a part of this channel, get used to making Yeshua a part of your business needs, a part of your life, because all of these principles can be applied to not just your business, but it can also be applied to your life, your relationships, and everything consists of a relationship. Even if you have a business interaction with someone, it's a relationship. And so how you handle things with Abba, how you go to Abba, is going to be a clear indication as to how you handle everything else in your life, okay? And so when you have that rock steady, I promise you, no matter what comes your way, you'll be able to withstand whatever's thrown to you. And everything is in the word, so you'll always know exactly where to go to. Even sometimes when you feel like you don't know where to go, Abba will always lead you back to his word. And so I wanna touch on well, I'm going to actually be reading from, so I'm going to jump a few scriptures, but I am going to read a passage. So bear with me, you all, because I really want to break this down for you, and I really want to let you know what it is that Yeshua does for his people. You could be in a situation where you feel like you would have never come out of. You could feel like you are never going to get out of work. You could feel like, you've been serving someone for so long and you just want to do your own thing. You could feel like Abba is leading you to, and he's compelling you to do something different. But you have people in your ear saying, oh, no, you can't do that. Oh, no, you don't have the money to do that. And you have all these Debbie Downers and all these people, just talking, yakety, yakking. And Abba's like, no, what I want you to do is see me. I want you to hear me, and I want you to trust me. So when you have a relationship with Yeshua, what happens is you are able to hear him clear. When you spend time with him and you dine with him and you love on him and you're intimate with him in that way, he begins to speak to you. And not only does he speak to you, but he shows up for you in ways that you would never have imagined. He said, according to his word, that eyes haven't seen, now ears haven't heard, and neither has it entered into the hearts of men the great things that he has in store for those that love him, okay? And so I believe that you love him if you're here. And I believe that he loves you, whether you're here or not, whether you stick around or not. Abba loves you, and he wants you to know that he will supply your every need according to his riches and glory. I just want to give you a little bit of a backing. So Jacob was a servant of Laban, okay? And so Laban pretty much swindled Jacob. He lied to Jacob because Jacob served him for a while, and he ended up saying that he would give one of his daughters for him to marry. So he wanted to marry Leah, but instead of marrying Leah, his father, pretty much got over on him and gave him the other sister instead of Leah. Okay, so he gave him Rachel. Okay, and so with him giving Rachel, he pretty much was a flim flam. Laban was a flim flam, and he was doing what he was doing. He was getting over. Laban. His name is Laban, Laban. Laban actually knew so many different things. He ended up working for Rachel for about 7 years. And I want to say Laban for about 10 or more, honestly. I'm going to say about 10 years according to the scripture. And so sometimes people like to get over and think that they're going to get over and get away with it. And I was like, no, not my child. You're not going to get over on my seed. You might think that you're getting over, but I need you to understand that I have my hand on that one. And so when you allow God in and you have a relationship with him, you're able to hear him clearly. You're able to experience divine instruction and strategy for your next move so that you can operate and move according to Yeshua's will. Not your will, but Yeshua's will. Now, of course, when we are kingdom building, what happens is that we're not doing what we want to do on our own strength in our way, but we're seeking ye first the kingdom of God and all of his righteousness, so all of these things can be added unto us. Now, let's be clear that when Abba gives us things, that he's not just giving it to us just so that we can just be all flashy and say, oh, look what God did, although, you can celebrate, or just wave it in somebody's face. Be sure to stay at a humble place, even when Yeshua blesses you, because you reap what you sow. The law of reciprocity is real. But what I'm getting at is he did all these things to Jacob. He even changed his wages about 10 different times throughout the course of time that he worked for him. And so he pretty much was getting over on him. And over here, we represent righteous wealth. And we're seeking to obtain righteous wealth. We don't want the wealth of the world. Unless it is what Yeshua has given us. Because he did say, according to his word, that the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just, laid up for the righteous. But let's be clear, there's a method to the madness. You have to be in God. And so when God is ready to do a transfer, the wealth transfer, and I'm going to actually be talking about that in a different video. God does something well. He does all things well. He does a thing well. He does everything well. And so when you're in alignment with that, you obtain the righteous blessing, okay? So I'm going to read Genesis 31 and that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna read 31 until I decide to stop. Okay, and it says this passage particularly is subtitled "Jacob Prospers." Okay, after all he had been through, Jacob prospers over Laban. Okay, and so it says, and Jacob took him rods of green poplar and of the hazel and chestnut tree, and peeled white streaks in them, and made the white appear which was in the rods. And he set the rods which he had peeled before the flock in the gutters, and in the watering troughs, when the flocks came to drink, and they should conceive when they came back to drink. Now listen to what it said. And he set the rods which he had peeled back, because he ended up doing a thing. That's a strategy and from God. This is pure divine strategy based off of what God had given him in this moment. And he ended up knowing what to do to attain the wealth so that he could prosper. Follow me. And he said, and he set the rods which he had peeled before the flock in the gutters, in the watering troughs, when the flocks came to drink, that they should conceive when they came to drink. And the flocks conceived before the rods, and brought forth cattle, ring-straked, speckled, and spotted. And Jacob did separate the lambs, and set the faces of the flocks towards the ring-straked, and all the brown in the flock of Laban. And he put his own flocks by themselves, and put them not unto Laban's cattle. He didn't mix them. And it came to pass, whensoever the stronger cattle did conceive, that Jacob laid the rod before the eyes of the cattle in the gutters, that they might conceive among the rods. But when the cattle were feeble, he put them not in. So the feebler were Laban's, and the stronger were Jacob's. And the man increased exceedingly, and had much cattle, and maidservants, and menservants, and camel, and asses. You all, did you hear? And the man increased exceedingly. God gave him divine instruction and strategy. And I'm going to continue to read on because I want you to see specifically. God gave him divine instruction and strategy to do that specifically. I'm telling you, I decree and declare that God will give you divine instruction and strategy for your next business move, for your next business opportunity, for your next big break, for your next big thing. Because when God gives you divine instruction and strategy, and when you go to him, and when you seek him, and Job was known to go to God and seek God to the point where he was wrestling with an angel, and he said, I won't let go until you bless me, okay? And so in this particular point, he knew exactly what to do. He knew exactly what to do to attain the wealth that he needed so that he could become this exceedingly and increase. This man increased exceedingly. So he could be this man who exceeded and increased in a mighty way, in a major way, okay? And so in that moment, after, of course, you know, sometimes when you are on it and you doing it God's way, and people don't understand why you are surpassing them, or why you are doing better than them, or why you are reaping the abundance of God's favor in his harvest. They didn't know that you were going through your process way up until now. Some things don't happen overnight. A lot of things don't happen overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day. But when God gives you divine strategy, and when God gives you divine instruction, it is our jobs to move as Yeshua tells us to move. And so I'm so excited because, again, and the man increased exceedingly and had much cattle and maidservants and menservants and camels and asses. I'm so excited about it, you guys. I'm so excited. Get excited because Abba is doing it for you as well so that you can reap the blessings because you did not faint and because you listened to his voice. You didn't move hastily, but you waited and you allowed Yeshua to be the voice so that you can triumph in the season of harvest, okay? Now follow me on. I'm going to read, I actually just read Genesis 30, 37 through 43. Now I'm going to read on, and I'm going to read on until I stop, okay? And this is going over into 31. And he heard the words of Laban's son, sons, saying, Jacob hath taken all that was our father's, and of that which is our father's have gotten all his glory. Do you know that Abba will make your name great, and he will cause the very people who put you in a situation or in a rut, he will cause those very people to look at you and see how God has been with you the whole time? When he said, I will never leave you nor will I forsake you, he meant that in his word. And so to see him be increased in everything that he had, way more than what he had before, my Yahweh, he increased exceedingly and abundant above all we could ever ask or think of. That's the kind of Abba we serve. This is what kingdom building is about, okay? And so it says, and Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not toward him as before. And the Lord said unto Jacob, return to the land of thy fathers and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee. So that's another divine instruction and strategy. Sometimes when Abba bless you with the more, you cannot stay where you are. You have to come up a little higher, and sometimes you have to remove yourself because everybody can't go. Everybody can't experience the blessing in which Yeshua has blessed you with, because he's given that specifically for you so that you can do to it what he has called for you to do to it with, so that you can be a good steward over it. And the reason why I believe Abba gave that to Jacob and gave him the divine instruction and strategy is simply because he knew that Haman was being unrighteous with his wealth. And so Abba said, well, okay, I need you to know that this is my seed. So I'm going to bless him with the righteous seed, and I'm going to allow him to surpass you, and he's going to have more than you've ever had. Exceedingly. Okay? And then he gave him instructions to move, because how they were towards him was not how they were toward him before. I'm going to read on. I'm going to skip down to 7. And your father have deceived me and changed my wages 10 times, but God suffered him not to hurt me. God's grace is sufficient. Abba will never allow anybody to get over on his seed. Absolutely not. And this is why he gives us divine instruction and strategy. He said, I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed beg for bread. And he will never do it. He will never do it. I'm going to skip down to 9. To 10. No, to 9. And it says, thus have taken away the cattle of your father and thus God hath taken away the cattle of your father and given them to me. Abba did it. When you're in the way of Yeshua, you don't have to put your hands in anything. Abba will make your name great. He will cause opportunities to come upon you that you never saw coming. And it came to pass at that time that the cattle conceived, that I lifted my eyes up. I lifted up mine eyes and saw in a dream. Divine instruction and strategy. Here we go. And behold, the rams which leaped upon the cattle were ring-staked, specked and gristled. And the angel of God spake unto me in a dream, saying, Jacob. And I said, here I am. And I'm going to pause right there. When Abba is speaking to you, when he is calling you out, when he is calling you higher, when he is calling you to do a thing, it is our jobs to answer him. You don't want to miss the opportunity of your blessing. You don't want to miss the opportunity of your breakthrough. And you definitely don't want him to give it to someone else. So respond when Yeshua answers you, okay? And he said, lift up now thine eyes and see. All the rams which leap upon the cattle are ring-staked, speckled and gristled. For I have seen all that Laban doeth to thee, unto thee. Abba sees everything. He never misses a beat. He never, even when the enemy think he's getting over, he'll let him think that he's getting over, and sure enough, give him a little bit more time. You reap what you sow. It'll hit him like a ton of bricks. I'm telling you. This is why you have to be in Yeshua. This is why you have to be a good steward over the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that he's giving you, so that you can apply it accordingly, so that you can reap the harvest, because you chose not to faint, but because you chose to be in position, and because you chose to trust and have faith that Yeshua could even do it in the first place. 13, it says, and I am the God of Bethel, where thou anointest the pillar, where thou vowest a vow unto me. Now arise, get thee out from this land, and return unto the land of thy kindred. Y'all, God gave him divine instruction and strategy. He confirmed that word. He confirmed what God had put in him to do, so that he can get the cattle and all of the things that made him rich in that time. And not only that, he then moved him into a new place. This is for somebody. Catch this in the spirit, because God is about to elevate you to a new place. For some people, he's going to move you before he gives you the blessing. And then for the other people, he's going to move you after he gives you the blessing, because you won't be able to stay there. You will not be able to stay there. You're going to have to get up and get out, because everybody can't go. Where he's taking you, it's going to require more of you. Where he's taking you, it's going to require a different circle, a different realm of people, a different realm of yourself, a different realm of going into the relationship that you have with Yeshua. Is going to require something different of you. So I want you to be encouraged today. I'm so excited, because Abba will give you divine instruction and strategy for your next move. And then he will shift you out from your enemies to your blessed place, okay? I'm so excited about what God is doing. Yeshua is doing stuff right now. But what I want you to do is be aware of what Abba is saying. Make sure your listening ears are on. Make sure you are doing what thus saith Yah. Make sure your heart is in the right place. And make sure that you are willing to be a good steward. And so when you are a good steward, God sees your heart and he knows all. He knows all. As I stated before, he said in his word, he said, I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed beg for bread. And he never will. I love you all so much. I'm your girl, Danny Royal from DannyRoyal.com. I am here to help you with your small business needs. If there's anything that I can assist you with pertaining to your business, do so. I can't get it together with my words today. Do so. Send me a message at Danny Royal Enterprises Danny Royal Enterprise at gmail.com, or just go straight to my website at DannyRoyal.com. I love you all so much. I'm so excited about kingdom building with you all. God is doing something amazing, and he's linking his people. He's not just causing me to have these words. He's not just causing me to have this in my spirit just to sit. No, Abba is literally putting his people together, and he's going to do a lot more of that as the time goes ahead. And I'm so excited to be a part of what he's doing. And I'm so excited that he chose me to be able to speak to you. And I pray that you all get what you all need out of these videos, so that you all can obtain righteous wealth, and so that you all can help me to help you advance the kingdom. So let's together kingdom build. And again, let's get to it and go handle your kingdom biz. I love you all so much, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Have a blessed day. Peace.